Hello and welcome to the Sunday Morning Knits podcast. Hi, my name is Laura and welcome to my knitting podcast. Now, if you've been around for the last couple podcasts, you might have noticed that I changed the name of the podcast. I used to be Laura's Lovely Knitting and I have changed my name to Sunday Morning Knits. I just feel like Sunday Morning Knits fits a little bit better with the vibe that I'm going for, the like kind of cozy, comfy knitting kind of thing. And I picked Sunday Morning Knits because Sunday mornings hold a very special place in my heart. Please ignore the cat zoomies. Sunday mornings hold a very special place in my heart because my cousin and I used to go out for breakfast every Sunday morning, and just hang out and chat and go visit cute stores and have cute breakfasts, and we still text each other on Sunday mornings today, even though we are currently living in different countries. So I thought that was very fitting, kind of the vibe that I'm going for. So yeah, welcome to my newly named podcast, Sunday Morning Knits. So you might notice that I'm a little bit more dressed up than normal for my podcasts. That's because I am filming this on Thanksgiving, and I'm actually off to a Thanksgiving dinner as soon as this is done, as soon as I'm done filming this. So that's why I'm a little bit more dressed up than normal. I don't normally wear red lipstick, and I also normally wear glasses if you're new here. But I figured I'd break out the contacts today, so yeah. My podcast today is going to follow a very normal knitting podcast order, so I'm going to talk about my finished objects, then my works in progress, and then my knitting acquisitions. So starting with finished objects, I have a couple of little finished objects. So my very first finished object is this just pair of plain fingering weight socks that I finished. These were a half finished object in my last episode. They are a Christmas gift for my brother. I'm a big fan of how these turned out. I've knit with this yarn a couple times before. This yarn is from Things Created Equal, which is a hand dyer in Alberta, Canada. This was the 2020 club yarn. I can't remember what month this was, but this was inspired by different colors of tree bark. So I was a big fan. I thought it was very cute. And I think this fits my brother very nicely. I've never knit him long socks before. I've only ever knit him little shorty socks, so I thought it was time for some long socks. I knit these on 2.5mm needles, blocked them on my sock blockers, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. So that's my first finished object. My second finished object are these socks. They were a half finished object in my previous episode. I think I had this one done. These are the most chaotic socks I have ever knit. So this was a pattern that I was kind of toying with the idea of releasing. I don't think I'm going to release them anymore, but maybe, who knows. So chaotic, I decided to go down a needle size and knit these on 2mm needles because I watched Emma Robinson, who is Woolly Mammoth Fibre Co. I watched her sock video and she says smaller gauge is best for avoiding holes and wear. So I tried that, went down to 2mm needles and was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to change the gauge from what I normally do. So I knit more stitches per inch than normal. Which worked out totally fine, but forgot that I was doing that for the second sock. So I knit what I would normally knit on like 2.25 or 2.5mm needles, which resulted in the socks being two completely different sizes. And then I was going to try to block them to be the same size and put them on completely different blockers by accident. Just the most chaotic socks I've ever knit. I think they turned out really cute. I used a sock set from Sunday Fibre Co, the Mermaid Mini and the Stardust main color. I'm a big fan of her colorways. I think they're absolutely stunning, and I do love how the socks turned out looking, just they are completely different sizes. So very chaotic socks. I might remake these in a different color and then try to decide whether I want to release the pattern then. But yeah, hands down the most chaotic socks I have ever knit. I don't know what was going through my mind while I was knitting these, but yikes. My other finished object is another baby hat. If you watched my previous video, you know that I knit baby hats for an organization that donates hats to NICU babies. I'll put more information in the description box if you're interested, but I've only done one. This was done on loom knitting, and I did it with double Sunday. Loom knitting is a lot of fun. I do highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's really easy to make hats with, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, give that a shot. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Now, the other finished object, this is funny, the other finished object that I have is not a knitting finished object at all. It is a crochet finished object. I went to the Hosier concert here in Los Angeles a couple weeks ago, and when I got home, I was so wired from the concert because it was absolutely incredible that I couldn't sleep and decided at midnight to teach myself how to crochet. And I learned how to crochet hexies because I want to make a hexagon granny square blanket. This is the hexagon pattern by Nautical Knits, I believe. This is the Sunburst Hexie, I think. Starburst Hexie? I'll put it below. And I knit several. I knit these with a mini set that I had from Alice and Pip. It was a hand-dyed mini set that I got off Etsy that I absolutely loved. I played some serious yarn chicken with this one. I finished this hexagon and I had this much left. I was very impressed with myself. Normally I don't win yarn chicken. So yeah, that was fun. I also made hexies with the last of the socks, the yarn, sorry, from these socks. That'll go into the blanket, and I think I'm just going to continue doing that, using the scraps that I have, whatever's left over, to make cute little hexies for an adorable blanket that I can't wait to have. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I was surprised how easy it was to crochet. I knew how to do a chain stitch before I picked this up, but that was it. I didn't know how to do anything else. So if you are a knitter who wants to learn how to crochet, highly recommend it. It uses different muscles. It's a very different set of skills, but it was a lot of fun to learn, a lot of fun to pick up, and I'm really happy that I did that. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue working on my cute little hexies. I think that is it for finished objects. I feel like I had a half-finished object that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I totally do. Sorry if I've moved. I got up to go get it. So I am currently doing two test knits. I can tell you about one of them. I can't tell you about the other. But I have finished, they're both sock test knits, and I have finished one of the two. And this is the finished object. I have only finished one of the socks so far. I haven't finished the other one because I'm working on my other test knit. But this is a test knit for the Winterberry socks by Rundle Knitting, which is run by a lovely knitter named Haley. Haley actually tested my very first sock pattern for me and then promptly knit like 500 versions of it. So I absolutely love her to death, and as soon as I saw that she was looking for testers for this sock, I was like, I have to do this. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. So this is the Winterberry socks. This pattern is coming out in just over a week. Today is the 23rd, and it comes out in just over a week. I highly recommend this pattern. It's super well written, it's super beautiful. I am not the best at color work, so you can kind of see my floats, but it is still just an absolutely stunning sock. And this pattern comes with 3 different versions of this sock. So I'm only testing one of the 3, but there's a couple other versions as well. She gives a lot of options for how to customize and personalize and change up the socks. So like the braid is optional, for example, and it's just absolutely fantastic. They are toe-up socks. So this is the very first time I have ever done toe-up socks. I've never done that before. I had also never done the kind of cabling that you need to do the little leaves, but the instructions are excellent. It was really easy to follow, and I just highly recommend. I love Haley. I love these socks. Go check it out as soon as they are released. I will be posting on my Instagram, so you can follow along there if you want to know when these come out exactly. Yeah. Okay, now that is all of the finished objects and half-finished objects I wanted to talk about. Next, I wanted to talk about my works in progress. So I have 4 works in progress today that I want to talk about. The first one is, I cast this on last night actually. The first one is going to be a little shawl, but right now I only have 10 rows done. Actually, I think this is 20 rows. This is going to be the European Roadtrip shawl by Espace Tricot. It's a free pattern that you can find. I found it on Ravelry. I love Espace Tricot. I've ordered from them many times. I've knit some of their shawls before. I just wanted, this is gonna be like a parallelogram shawl. I just wanted something cute to wear for Christmas with this dress. I'm spending half of Christmas in Canada and then half of Christmas in North Carolina. So I needed like something I could wear in both locations and can survive a whole bunch of different temperatures. So I need a shawl for Canada. I'm also gonna be wearing like a turtleneck and stuff. So I thought this was adorable. I'm using Biches Le Petit Lambswool in the color Burgandy Gray. I don't understand how this is Burgandy Gray. This just looks like burgundy to me. But either way, I love it. It's beautiful. I ordered it from Shop La Mercerie. And I'm absolutely a huge fan. I think it's stunning. I think it's knitting up really well. I love the fabric. So yeah, highly recommend. This yarn, so the last time I knit an Espace Tricot shawl, I knit the Biches in Sunday Yarn Co. No, not Sunday. Sunday Morning yarn. Sunday Morning, that's cute. Which is the Espace Tricot, it's their brand of yarn. And this is knitting up very similarly. So if you're looking for maybe a slightly more affordable version of Biches, or sorry, Biches Buches, I highly recommend you check out the Sunday Morning yarn from Espace Tricot. Quite similar. Oh, and I'm knitting these up on 6mm needle, or sorry, 4mm needles, US size 6. Yeah, it's adorable, it's fantastic. I did not gauge swatch because it's a shawl and I don't care. So I have no idea what the gauge is or what it's going to be. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first project. My second project is one that you would have seen in the last episode if you watched it. This is another Sophie shawl. This time I've made a lot more progress on it, as you can see. I'm about halfway through it. It's definitely going better than my last Sophie shawl, just because I am paying more attention, because this is a gift. I am knitting it with Sandnes Garn Alpaca wool in Caramel, I believe is the color. I don't remember the name exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's Caramel. And I'm knitting it up on size 8, so 5mm needles. This is a gift for somebody. I can't say who because they watch this podcast, but I think they're gonna love it. And I'm really enjoying knitting it. It's a lot of fun. It's nice and easy, so I'm a fan. I don't want to say too much more because I don't want to give away any information. So yeah, that's my Sophie shawl. The other work in progress, and I think the one that I've put the most progress into, is my Serein Sweater. So if you watched the last couple episodes, I've talked about my Serein Sweater a few times. I absolutely love this sweater. I cast it on in June, and I'm really hoping to finish it in time for Christmas so that I can actually wear it. It is non-superwash DK, so it is quite warm, a little bit too warm for SoCal right now, but it will be perfect for when I go home. So I am knitting this in, like I said, non-superwash DK in the colorway Misty Morning by the Yarn Addict Co. I have put a ton of work into this since you last saw it. I'm very happy with how it's turning out. I really love it. I'm hoping I'll be done this in the next week or two. I'm currently working on the sleeves just because I am playing a little bit of Yarn Chicken and I only have one cake left. I think I'll be fine. The body might be a little bit shorter than is recommended, but I think that's fine. I think that's fine. We will see. I'll update you in the next podcast how this is going. It's made an absolutely beautiful fabric. I love the color so much. This is just going to be a stunning sweater and I'm very, very excited to wear it. So yeah. My last work in progress is a sock for my boyfriend's mom for Christmas. I'm going to visit them just after Christmas, so I wanted to bring her a lovely little Christmas present. He helped me pick out the colors, helped me pick out like how to lay out the colors. I always forget how fast worsted weight and DK weight socks knit up. I started this last night, and I'm like halfway through. So I'm very happy with this. It's always lovely when that happens and something doesn't take very long. And I love how it's turning out. This is knit with the Quince and Co wool yarn that I've had for literal years. This has been in my stash for like 4 years, I think. And I'm knitting it on 4mm needles, I think. I have had these needles since I started knitting socks when I was like 12 years old. So the sizing has rubbed off of them. I just know that I knit worsted weight socks on these and they always come at a gauge. So who knows what size they are? Sorry about that. But yeah, it's knitting up super fast. I'm very happy. I hope she loves them. Yeah. So yeah, that is it for my works in progress to show you today. This leads me to the last section, and that's knitting acquisitions. I have 2 little knitting acquisitions to share with you today. The first is actually the bag that I'm keeping the socks for my boyfriend's mom in. This is a little Christmas bag from 5 to 6. I absolutely love her knitting bags so much, and I don't have a Christmas themed bag. I tend to like stay away from themed project bags, but since I start knitting Christmas projects in like July, I was like, you know what? This isn't too Christmassy. The colors are literally my favorite colors, blues, pinks, and gold. Hands down, my favorite color. And so I decided to go for it, and I'm so happy. I think it's adorable. I know her bags are kind of a cult favorite, so I'm sure you may have seen one of these before on some of the other podcasts out there on YouTube, but I can confirm they are absolutely amazing. So yeah. My final knitting acquisition are 2 skeins of yarn that I absolutely love so much. These are the Monet in the Garden from the Monet collection by Red Door Fibers. I had never come across Red Door Fibers before, but my sock swap partner, which was set up by Shop La Mercerie, recommended I check out Red Door Fibers, and once I saw these, I was like, I am absolutely in love. I love Monet so much. So I picked these up. They arrived not too long ago. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but either way, I'm very excited. So this is my final knitting acquisition for you. So this was a bit of a shorter episode. School has been really crazy lately. I am just coming up to the end of my quarter, so it's been a lot of marking, a lot of doing midterms, a lot of prepping for lessons, things like that. So I haven't had as much time to knit as I would like, but it is a long weekend now, so hopefully I'll be able to finish up the other test knit that I'm doing so that I can show you in the next episode. Maybe start something with this, who knows. And yeah, as soon as Christmas hits, I will have far more time to knit, which I'm very excited for. So hopefully the next podcast will be a lot longer. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my 4th podcast. I'd love to hear what you're knitting in the chat, so leave it down below. I'd love to find some new patterns. If you have any recommendations for this yarn, I would be very happy. It's DK weight, so let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me that you've made it this far into my podcast. So thank you so much, and happy knitting. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.